Hi everybody, this is another easy peasy video. Some of you have mentioned how difficult it is to shorten a man's dress shirt sleeve the way I showed you in my last video. Well, today I'm going to show you the easy peasy way. Let's get started. Hi everybody, in this video I am going to show you the easy peasy way of shortening a man's dress shirt sleeve. Now, in my other video, I show you how to remove the cuff, remove the placket, shorten the shirt, put the placket back on, and then the cuff back on. That way you keep these proportions on there. When you take it off, you cut this open, you move it up, you put the cuff back on. With this one, we're just going to remove this, cut this off, and put it back on. Now, this is what it's going to look like, depending on how much you cut your shirt down. So if you take off, a 1/2 inch, it might look like this, which isn't bad. You can just cut it off. Any more than that, it will make the proportions a little different. But if you don't mind, I don't mind. So the first thing you need to know is that whatever distance you shorten it, that area here has to be the same width as the cuff. The cuff is 5 inches across, so this needs to be 5 inches across here. So that's only 5.5. So all you need to do is, and I'm going to align this with the lines on the pattern here and see if that works out. And that's pretty close. So we'll just do a little bit more, and I'm going to pin that down. And I'm only doing this because it just makes it easier when it's time to put the cuff back on. You don't want to have to mess too much with that. After all, this is the easy peasy method, and I just want to make it as simple as possible and as less time consuming as possible. So let's get this over to the work table and get started. Okay, I have it pinned in place. Now I'm just going to unbutton the shirt and start removing the cuff. Don't be in too big of a hurry. You don't want to cut your cuff. The shirt doesn't really matter. You're going to remove that part anyway, but just be careful not to cut your cuff. Right here, I want you to take note of how much of your shirt is inside the cuff, because you'll have to put that much back in if you want to keep everything right. So here, there's 5/8 of an inch in there, but then you have this that's a little off. So it's about 1/2 inch of your end of your shirt inside your cuff. So you'll have to remember that. So your cuff is off. Okay, now all you need to do is lay your ruler down at the 1/2 inch mark. Mark your shirt. And cut it off. Now, do you remember me saying that you need to make sure this is 5 inches across, just to make sure it's going to fit back into the cuff. This is just a little over, so I am going to move this over just a little bit. And this is a nice shirt because it's I got stripes on it, so it just makes it easier to help line everything up. I'm going to pin that in place. There, that works. Now I'm just going to take it to the machine and put it back on. Okay, before we actually put the cuff back on, I am going to mark the shirt where you need to put the cuff onto. I'm going to mark it at 1/2 inch so that you know to line your cuff up with that 1/2 inch mark. Remember, taking these extra little steps, and they're not that big of a deal in doing them. It's not a lot of time put into it, but it saves you a lot of headache in case you put too much in or not enough and the shirt is still not the length you want it. Okay, so I have it marked on my 1/2 inch mark, and now we're just going to put it on. So you're going to put it in up to that yellow mark. You're just going to put it in up to that yellow mark and start sewing. Now, as I get to the end, it looks like there may be a little adjustment I need to make. And that's what's good with starting out with the right sleeve, because the cuff, the pleat is at the end of the cuff. And so at that point, you can get in there and make whatever adjustments you need to make to the pleat. So keep that in mind when you start the shirt. Do the right sleeve first. Take note of any adjustments you might need to make on the pleat, and then mirror that onto the next sleeve. All right, you guys, that's all there is to it, and the shirt's done. Because I only took up a 1/2 inch, you really can't see too much of a difference in the proportion on the cuff. I hope you guys liked that video. I hope it was much easier for you to understand and to actually do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified when I upload more videos. Thank you. Bye.